All right, hi guys, my name is Cecil Migai, and of course, thank you guys for joining Codivated. Today we have another guest, and today is Lee Ibrahim. Lee, karibu man.
Hi, karibu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
It's a pleasure.
Always a pleasure, man.
Like I said, my name is Lee.
Yes.
So I'm a software developer or engineer. I've been in the industry for more than 7 years. So I have more than 7 years of experience. And it's a pleasure to be here and to talk to you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, cool, man. So today, guys, we just wanted to talk about architecture or whatever you choose to call it, software architecture, solutions architect. And so Lee, as every other engineer, have a background in seeing a project or an application transition from a very simple architecture to a more complex architecture. And also, you guys, if you guys are not aware, architecture is normally something dynamic. It's not, you can't just build a static thing and expect it to stay there. And it's affected by several aspects, such as traffic, such as database. If you need to create a lot of redundancy around the database, around the data that you're storing, and so many other aspects that you're going to cover today. Hope you guys are going to learn something, and hope Lee will be comfortable sharing some of the information with these guys. So here we go. So maybe background where your career started before we transition into architecture.
Okay, my career started playing with things when I was young. So I remember back in high school, we used to take computer classes. So I went to Tala High School, and after high school, I was intrigued or interested of what computers can do, because I used to see people maybe with the desktop computers, the 98 version.
This is which year?
This is back when maybe 206.
206, okay.
Yeah, 205, 206.
That is Form 1, Form 2?
Yeah, Form 1, Form 2, Form 3. Yeah, so I also took computer classes in high school, and it's something which excited me more. So after high school, I joined a college to see whether I could improve of what I knew about computers. So I was able to get, let's say, a calling into a college by the name Nairobi. So it's it was based in Nairobi industrial area, but right now it's here in Kilimani. Nairobi. It's called Nairobi, and then
BITS.
Yeah, so they were really good in things to do with the internet. They used to teach HTML, CSS. So that's where I took my first classes. Of course, you have to start with Microsoft Excel, Microsoft PowerPoint.
Packages,
packages. And
this was which year when you were in Nairobi?
So Nairobi was, it started around 2009 and then up to 2010. So it takes, so they have a program by the name Media Lab. So that's the last level. So you have to start slowly and up to a point where they choose. So they choose the best students. And I was privileged to be one of them. So I joined Media Lab and I accomplished my first diploma. It took a period of 6 months. The Media Lab takes 6 months. And after that, you are ready. You are ready to go into the market. It's a diploma, but I saw this was not enough. So for me, because they taught the basics and design. So what I learned first as an IT person was design. Design, Photoshop, Dreamweaver, and to draw. And we used to do websites using
CMS.
WordPress, but we also learned Dreamweaver, which you can convert.
Drag and drop,
which you can convert a design. We used to do design from scratch. Draw it first on paper. Before you took it to Photoshop, and then from Photoshop through Dreamweaver, and come up with a website. So it was called slicing. So, but right now many people are using templates. I mean, it's can say it's a shortcut or an easier way people to accomplish whatever you used to accomplish back in the day. Yeah, but all the same, it gets you to the point where you want to be.
So that is Nairobits. Nairobits, you were able to accomplish what after the diploma? What were you able to accomplish?
So we were able to accomplish. Once you leave Nairobits, you are able to build a website from scratch.
That's a website that is about us, homepage, HTML, CSS.
HTML, CSS.
No dynamic stuff.
Not dynamic stuff, not the back end. This is just the front end.
The front end, okay.
Yeah, so we could do front end and the design of logos, business cards.
So that is graphic design.
Yeah, that's graphic design.
And website, page design.
Yeah. Actually, I believe they were one of the best back then, but they're still around today, and students can enroll. So after that, I said front end is good, but I want to do more.
Yeah.
So I attended a school by one David Severa. It was called Digital Age Institute. So this is where we were learning Java, doing mobile application and the backend stuff.
That is Java, J2Me.
Yeah. So J2Me, yeah,
Java Me,
yeah, Java Me. So we were building applications. Even we also did. We also used to bid for Nokia.
Yes.
Yeah, the
Symbian
operating system.
Yeah.
So for Nokia, I think right now it has scaled down. Not many people are doing it.
Yeah.
But I was able to learn there by the help of David Svara. So he was a very dedicated man. So and he helped us get into the back end.
So this here you are doing mobile application, which is basically feature phone applications, huh?
Yeah, sure.
That is mobile apps. What else?
So we also did backend.
Backend, what language?
Java. So it was pure Java.
What Java what's called servlets,
yeah, because the first application they told us to do was a school attendance system.
Yes.
Yeah, so from how the servlets will look and the backend, how a person can come. So actually, the system which was being used at that school had been developed by a student of the very same school.
So this is desktop application?
So this is a desktop application. Okay. It was right there at the reception. So people could come, key in their card and check in and check out in the evening. So it was it was a simple system, but it used to work because we were given cards with barcodes.
Barcodes, yeah.
So you just
could scan and then.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. How long was the training? This one. You've done 6 months at
Nairobits. No, Nairobits was more than 6 months. Media Lab was the one which was 6 months.
Okay.
So Nairobits was like a year or a year and a half.
Okay.
So, and then after that, Digital Age Institute, I did a full year. So I attained my advanced diploma.
Okay, so this is now the 2.5 years gone. So, after high school.
Yeah,
2.5 years.
Yeah, and then after Digital Age
Just
Institute.
a minute. So what were you able to do after finishing Digital Age?
So Digital Age Institute welcomed me into the backend world.
Backend, okay.
Yeah, so I could not only build a website, I could build a website and add functionalities on the back. You see, a front end is what a person sees. Yeah. So when you build a website, is what a user sees. So you can interact with a button, you can interact with the page. But the back end is where the magic happens. So that's where everything happens. So Digital Age Institute gave me that knowledge to be able to do that on the back end.
Okay.
So it was a really good experience.
Okay. Were you making money at this point by the skills that you had acquired from the two institutions?
Oh yeah, I was. There is an organization I used to work for.
Yeah.
As I was still learning.
Okay.
So it was a mapping organization.
Yeah.
And what we used to do, we used to collect data points.
Okay.
About around Nairobi, Kibera, Ngong Road, also Mathare. So we used to collect data points about these locations and feed it to the OpenStreetMaps.
Okay.
You see, OpenStreetMap is an open source map. It's just like the Google Maps we have today, but OpenStreetMap is still there. You can use that. People can key in data. So I used to work there or volunteer, but we used to also, they used to give us stipends. They used to pay us some small monies to keep us moving. Like,
so more or less data entry.
Yeah, that it was more of a data entry, data entry job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this which year was this when you were doing the open maps?
It was from 2010, 2011, 2012.
Okay, so,
Yeah,
so it means you're making money but not using your technical skills that you had acquired, or is there another place that you are applying your technical skills?
So I was using the technical skills I acquired from Nairobits.
Yeah.
To do this data entry job, but there were also other, like we could also teach, because before you enrolled at Nairobits, you could also teach some other students who came behind you.
Yeah, website development.
So how to do web development.
Nice.
And since I was also conversant with the back end, I could also teach them a thing or two about the back end.
Yeah.
Maybe data scraping back then. Right now you can use AI, but back then it was more of the general way. So you could also teach these students how to do this and get a few coins.
Yeah.
So I could, I think I use the knowledge I learned from Nairobits and Digital Age Institute. Yeah, so that was my first income.
Okay, that's interesting. So that means that you had built a background from this institution, and I know we met at MLab, which was also
came
after in 2012. So from MLab, we were mostly doing mobile application development.
Yeah, it was more mobile,
and also we did a bit of web applications, a bit of PHP, that is with the backend, Android.
Yes,
because at the time Android just came. 2011, thereabout 2011.
Yeah, sure.
That's when we had the first Android phone, which was Idios in the market, and with that, Google pushed for Android within the country, and I think we were among the first guys that were learning Android in the country at the time.
It was a privilege.
Yeah, so it became a stepping stone for us to build our career around mobile application development and also web application development. The reason why I'm transitioning a bit quick here is because I want us to get to the conversation that we have set up for the day. Okay. So after 2012, maybe you can after MLab. So of course you've covered Nairobits and Digital Age, and then we've moved to MLab, and then from MLab, maybe you can transition us to Stawika.
Yeah. So I used to use a space. Yeah, to Ngong Road. It was the IAB when they were still at Bishop Magwa. So we used to take on projects. So clients will come, we'll do for them systems, we do for them websites. I had a team of 5 team members. So whereby we were able to form companies. So to be taking consulting jobs for different clients who came around. So this is where one day a client came. His name was Rafael Kimeu. Sorry to say this, but it passed. Due to Corona. But he came in and he gave us this idea.
So you just walked. You guys were seated on a table, and they just talked to you guys of what happened.
Yeah, so he was referred to me by a friend, and
cool.
then he came. He came to me and he told me he wanted to do a lending application. So this was 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
So that's when we started the discussion on what he needed, and we had a conversation, and we told him that we could build this application for him, because he also wanted a mobile app and the LMS, the first LMS. So me and my colleague by the name Patrick Nyakoria, so we took on the venture, and we started building for him the application. Yeah, so this is when we started with the basic setup, a backend, and the first mobile application, the Android application. So the backend was
just before we jump into the backend, I think there's an important point that I don't want us to miss, which is, so the guy walked into iHub. You guys had a table that used to
work,
have as a temporary office because you used to pay for it. Because of the referral, he came. I'm curious to know how you got to a point where you could be referred.
We could?
You could be referred for a job.
For jobs,
For jobs. And also, I'm also curious to know the conversation, how you guys had the conversation that you had with Kimeo.
Oh, okay. So we had done many projects. We have also done a project with Poster, but these are one of the projects we did back at the iHub, because many people knew the iHub as a place of, let me call developers or engineers.
It's a meetup place for engineers.
Yeah, it was a meetup place. So it's really opened the door for many people around Nairobi, not only Nairobi, but Kenya at large, even sometimes the countries surrounding Kenya. So you had to prove that you could do a job. So due to the good job we were doing, we used to have a website where when a customer or a client comes to us, we could showcase our portfolio.
Which is consulting, software consulting.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was called Bisacute back then.
Bisacute,
we also had the company. We had all the documentations in Kenya which were needed by the government. So whenever a client comes, they see we are serious. We are a serious team, because first of all, you don't want to tell a client to send you money to your account, or your phone,
your personal account, or M-Pesa.
You give them a
business account.
A business account.
Yes.
Which looked credible. And even if they did a search for the CR12, they can always come and see that you really do this. So that process is, you need to earn your name in the industry, because many people were there. But we were privileged to be able to get projects along the way. So when Raphael came, we had a conversation. So we told him, we gave him ideas. So we gave him. So he provided the seed capital for the business, because
who provided?
Him.
Or Raphael came with the... He was the investor, the first investor.
The first, because it was first his idea. So he put his money first before he could now maybe look for other guys to invest.
Okay, so just before we leave that, so Raphael has just walked in. I'm trying to create a picture of
what really happened.
Because I know most engineers will benefit from this conversation about how you are an engineer, and then there's the business aspect of engineering is coming in, which I think is very important. So this is a business person coming in, who is Raphael, and he has this business idea, and you want to leverage technology. And you're the guys, you're the bridge. So he comes to you, and you guys are seated, and you start talking about this loaning or lending application that probably could stand a chance of time in Kenya. So, first of all, what do you guys think? What did you guys think at that time?
Okay, for us it wasn't that hard because one thing, Raphael was a banker.
Okay, so he introduced himself as a banker.
So when he introduced himself,
Yeah.
it was about, he used to work with DTB.
Yes.
So he knew what he wanted from the start.
Oh, everything was clear in his mind.
Yeah, so like it's not like some of the clients you get, they're trying to experiment.
Yeah.
He had a vision, so he was like, he knew what he wanted and he knew where to get it.
Yeah.
So he made it very easy for us.
Yeah.
So we told him we could do this. Then he could compare with the other systems he has encountered through his journey.
Okay.
So like he used to tell us, I want this feature, I don't want this, I want this.
So he already had requirements.
He already had requirements.
So you'll just break down everything in terms of this is the features that I want.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was really hard for it was really easy for us to understand what he wanted. And so our job was only to execute.
Okay.
And to bring this baby up so that the baby can start working.
Okay, cool. So now we are getting there. So Raphael had everything was clear for him, and he also he was a banker, so he knew what was missing.
He knew.
But before we moved there, were there any loaning or lending apps in the industry at that time?
Market. Oh, they were.
Which year was this?
It was 2016, 2017.
Okay.
Yeah, so they were, I can say, in quotes, many.
Many, yeah.
Yeah, because this was idea which had already been tested in the market.
Yeah. Okay.
So we call it.
So that's why it was
viable
confident
product. Yeah.
Okay.
We call it
MVP.
Yeah. So
it's a viable product. It was already been tested.
It has already been tested.
So you guys were just entering into the market to make money.
Well, yeah, when it was, I think I can say we entered the right time.
The right time, yeah.
Yeah, because people knew what these loan businesses or loan applications do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the hardest thing for many companies is, maybe I can say, is to raise capital, but which I think Raphael did it exceptionally.
Ah, nice. So still, I want you to wear slightly your business hat here. So Raphael has these ideas. Before you guys start building anything, what made you guys say, okay, we are going to start? If a client approaches me for any kind of job, the first thing that I have to do is, after we've established what they want, is negotiation. What is it in for me? Like, how are we going to be compensated? So I'm curious to know how you guys negotiated your piece of pie.
Okay.
Yeah. And maybe you can break it down how the conversation went.
Okay, so
at this time, you are how many engineers that you are talking to, Raphael?
So we are only two.
Two, okay.
Yeah, so me and Patrick. So because, like I said, I had a bigger team, but the other team was focusing on the other projects we had.
Yeah.
So we decided to go two, and we agreed with the other members. So it was not a big challenge. So when he came on board, there are three ways you can negotiate. You can say, others say, give me all my money, let me work. Some person can say, let's do this as a partnership. And others can say, do a partnership and pay us a little funds for our upkeep. So because you have bills to pay, you need to run your company. So we agreed the partnership and payment terms, which Raphael agreed, and actually told us it was the thing he was also looking for. Because when it comes to system developments and maybe startups at a large, you want to work someone who is there. So like someone who has a stake in the thing you're developing. Because most of the time when a developer comes in and wants to develop an application, and you tell them you're just gonna pay them, they're most likely to build. Even if they build fully, you will need changes tomorrow. So tomorrow they say, oh, the deal we had, me and you, is done, so pay us more. So you find it that some developers would like to take advantage of that. because I was paid this amount last time, but now it needs me. Let me go in there and ask for double what he paid me last time.
Okay.
So they try to take advantage and to maybe get more from the customer. But if you have an agreement with the person you are building the idea or the product with, and you take it as your own, you as a developer, you take it as your own, and from there you can move from step 1, step 2 without any challenges.
Okay. All right. So you guys negotiated a partnership and
A payment term.
So partnership, you mean shares? You got shares in the company. At that time, how were you able to determine the amount of shares or the amount of equity that was appropriate for your efforts? Yeah.
So it's just an agreement.
Yeah.
Because I usually say this is my thing, not it's for someone else out there, but I believe investor is the boss.
Okay.
There's a talk I had on Clubhouse.
Yeah.
It's a talk which always happens, I think every Friday. They usually say, the person says, if you want to really own your product, have 100%. The moment you give, even if it's 1%, you're not really the owner of that product.
Yeah.
So what we did with Raphael is we came into an agreement, and we decided, since he was the one who was bringing in the money, and the idea was his, which we agreed, he said, I will have the majority shares.
Yeah, makes
and
sense.
We will also have some floating shares aside in case we need to have an investor tomorrow.
Okay.
So we saw this is a good thing. So we didn't have any trouble jumping on board. And another thing, we are also getting compensated for our service. So it wasn't a big deal or a challenge to come up with the numbers of who's gonna get what, as long as the job was getting done.
All right. Cool. All right. So that sounds like a better deal. So were you negotiating as the 2 engineers, or it was not the whole company?
So we decided, let's negotiate as the 2 engineers.
The 2 engineers.
Yeah,
okay.
so that it shows that we are a team. So if you start negotiating on your own and I start negotiating on my own, so the client must, hey, these guys are not working together.
Yeah, what I was asking is, you initially had a company that you were working, that's why Raphael approached you guys. You had a company.
Yeah.
So when Raphael approached you and you guys were negotiating, were you negotiating as that company?
Oh, okay. We negotiated individually.
Okay, so now you guys decided to separate your company, and then the 2 engineers negotiated separate. So you guys negotiated as 2 engineers and not as the company that you are.
Yeah, not as a company, because there are a lot of logistics to negotiate as a company. Yeah, it's much easier to do it individually. Yeah, so that the documents can be clear.
So maybe what were the lessons at that particular moment that maybe you picked that maybe you can share?
So what I learned is starting a business is not just about programming or knowing to do this stuff and that stuff.
Yeah.
It's about teamwork and different aspects of the startup. So it's better to get someone who's good at this and someone who's good at this, and then you combine.
Okay.
Like, for example, Raphael was good in business. Patrick was good in the app development, and I was good in the LMS, the system development, which is the backend.
Okay.
So everyone came in with their own strengths, and we could accomplish this easily. Yeah. So startup is like a baby, so you take him slowly by slowly. Okay. So I learned a lot from the time we started up to where we are right now.
Okay.